Unicorns Talk is a weekly podcast where we discuss the ups and downs of the human experience, from personal growth to romantic relationships and everything in between. This show is for life livers, life lovers, and life enhancers. My name is Latrice Sampson Richards, your life enhancement coach, and together we're going to laugh, love, and learn to maneuver all of life's little messes. Let's go. Hey everybody, you are tuned in to episode 24 or is it 25? I think it's 25 of Unicorns Talk podcast. My name is Latrice Sampson Richards. I am a licensed professional counselor and a certified life purpose and relationship coach for Black women who are ready to heal from their past so we can build a future that we deserve. And of course, I am ridiculously excited to be here with y'all today. I have a great show planned for y'all today. Our topic for today is SMART goals. I know that I have talked about SMART goals a couple times in the past, but I don't think that I've ever really gone into great detail about how to create SMART goals for your life. And as you know, we are just over the hump in terms of the Empower Your Vision Masterclass. Tonight is module 4 of the masterclass, and it is going extremely well, to be honest, y'all. It's going very well. It's everything that I wanted it to be and more. And I feel like the participants have been very vocal about just the benefit that it's had in their lives, which is why I do the work that I do. So I'm excited about that. The reason why I even started doing the Empower Your Vision Masterclass or created it, like the whole thought process behind it, was because vision boards have become a very, big hot topic kind of thing, right? Like it's trendy to do a vision board parties and things like that. And don't get me wrong, I am all about a vision board, okay? But it dawned on me one day that people always talk about the need to have a vision board or the need to, have a vision for your life. But nobody ever really teaches people how and where that comes from. You know what I'm saying? Like what there are steps that needs to happen. You can't just jump into creating a vision for yourself. And so when I really sat down and I thought about my own journey, I was like, there are steps associated with this. You can't just jump straight into vision creation. And so I really dug in and tried to outline what those steps look like. And I came up with a process that I am very pleased with. I've used this process multiple times with my friends, with my clients and even some friends, like sometimes friends ask for help because they know that I'm really good at what I do. And so, I just think that before we can create a vision for our lives, we have to first heal some of those broken pieces because a vision born out of darkness or born out of a broken place is a broken vision. And so we definitely don't want to be walking around here with no broken visions, okay? So, anyway, tonight for the module 4 of the masterclass, we are talking about vision planning. So, we've done a lot of the background work and we are actually moving into the creation of the vision plan, which includes the vision board. And so, a big piece of that is making sure that whatever goals you set in your vision planning, that those goals give you the highest likelihood of success. And so you want to make sure that those goals are SMART, SMART. And so today on the show, I will be talking to you about what SMART goals are and how you create SMART goals. Okay, and then of course, in the master class, for those of you who are signed up for the master class, I'm really going to break down step by step how to create these goals and like actually implement these goals. So the action planning and the strategic planning that goes into that. And then, of course, we have high five today. I actually have a double high five today, so I'm super duper excited about that. And some shout outs and things, and then, we'll wrap it all up. So let's go ahead and get started. When you are creating a vision plan for yourself, when you are creating these goals, it's important that you create goals that are SMART, because SMART goals give you the highest likelihood of success. And if you're going to go through the trouble of creating goals, then you may as well make sure that they're going to be successful. So SMART, like I said, is an acronym. I'm sure if you Google SMART goals, you'll come up, it'll come up for you. Probably millions of hits will come up for you. Different people assign different words to SMART, but there are certain components that need to be included in every goal, and that's what the SMART acronym helps you to identify. SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time stamped. So let's start with specific. So when you're creating a goal, you need to definitely specifically identify what exactly are you trying to accomplish in terms of not just the outcome, but like what is it that you're trying to do? Why are you trying to do it? And how do you plan to accomplish it? You want to make sure that you write your goal in plain language, right? So, when you're actually writing out the goal, you want to use clear, plain language, no beating around the bush. You want to be as direct and specific as possible. All right. This helps you to really, really get down to the root of what it is you're trying to accomplish. All right. And it helps you to be clear about what it is that you're trying to accomplish. You may have a overarching goal that is, kind of aloof. Maybe I want to be a millionaire, or I want to have a certain amount of money in my retirement. But when it comes down to actually writing out the goals that are going to get you there, what does that look like? You have to be as specific as possible in creating those goals. All right. So what exactly is it that you are trying to accomplish? Why are you doing it? And how do you plan to accomplish it? Write it out as clearly as possible. All right. The M stands for measurable. So, how will you know that you have completed this goal? You have to be able to quantify the completion of this goal. This is extremely, extremely important, because when you have a measurable goal, it provides you with tangible evidence that progress is actually being made and that you have actually accomplished your goal. Okay. Typically, the entire goal itself, like if you're writing the goal correctly, then the entire goal is like the whole goal statement is a measure for the success, right? It's a measurement for the overarching goal. But there are also some smaller measurements that are built into the goal. So things like, and we'll talk more about the timestamp, but things like putting a specific time period on it, things like putting a specific number of days, like quantifying it. How will I know that I have accomplished this goal? Putting a date on that goal, right? Something like that. Like for example, if one of my goals is to complete my master's degree, which I've already done, but you get what I'm saying. Follow me, okay? Follow me. If one of my goals is to complete my master's degree, then one of the first steps that maybe I need to take is to apply for colleges. So maybe a measurable goal that I can put in place to help me get closer toward attainment of that goal is to fill out 3 applications by, I don't know, let's say February 28th. Okay. So when I write out my goal, I'm not just going to say I will complete my college applications. That's not a measurable goal. How many applications is it? Which colleges are you applying for? You get what I'm saying? So to make that goal measurable where you can know when you have completed that goal, okay, I will complete or I will fill out 3 college applications by such and such date. That is a measurable goal because once you get to 3, once you have fulfilled or completed your third college application, then you know that you have successfully attained that goal. There is no question about the success of attainment of that goal. Okay? You know for a fact that that's what you have done. All right. Another good thing about, or another, benefit of creating a measurable goal or putting measurements into those goals is because it helps you to be able to identify the small successes early on. I believe that the more success you experience, the more likely you are to experience success. And so when you're creating these micro goals, and you're putting measurements into these micro goals so that you can clearly identify when you have attained that goal, then it gives you a chance to celebrate that success. Like, no, I haven't fulfilled the overall goal. I haven't finished with my master's degree yet. I haven't, graduated from college yet, which is the overall goal. That is the goal that I'm trying to get to. But this goal is an important piece in getting me there. And I deserve to celebrate that. And when I have measurements assigned or measurements built into the goal creation, then it gives me something to celebrate and it helps to recharge me to continue for the long haul. You get what I'm saying? So those measurements help you in, both literally and figuratively. It can help to continue to motivate you. All right. Okay. All right. So, specific, write down exactly what it is that you're trying to accomplish, why you're trying to do it, and how you're trying to make it happen. Measurable, again, is how you're going to make it happen. How will you know that you have accomplished this goal? It's quantifying, making it tangible. Okay. And A stands for attainable. Attainable. Are you capable of doing this, given your current or potential skills, strengths, and responsibilities? Okay. Are you capable? Is this an attainable goal? Now, when I talk about your capability in this sense, I'm not talking about like if you have skills right now that are lacking, like do you have the full breadth of the skill sets that you need? That's not what I'm saying because that doesn't necessarily speak to your capability. Are you capable of gaining those skills? If you don't currently have those skills, do you have the capacity to do it? You get what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily about what you currently have, it's about your capacity to make something happen. All right. You have to be realistic about what you can handle, and you have to be realistic about what it takes to actually make it happen in real life. All right. So, what that means is if I am a single mother and I'm working 60 hours a week, is it realistic to expect that I can add another 20 hours a week of homework or something like that? You get what I'm saying? Or that I can take on another job? Like, is that an attainable goal? Am I setting myself up for failure? All right, based on the responsibilities and the obligations that I already have. Is this feasible? Now, it doesn't mean that you can't modify the goal to make it more feasible, right? But in its current state, is this goal an attainable goal, realistically speaking? Okay. How much do I need additional education? Do I need additional training? Do I need additional funding, outside vendors, maybe somebody like an accountant, a secretary, a designer, a graphic designer, something like that? Like, what are the resources that I need in order to make this goal more attainable? Okay. What are the things that I need to put in place, or the provisions that I need to put in place to make this goal an attainable goal? Okay. The next thing you want to ask yourself is, realistically speaking, how much will it cost me to create this goal or to bring this goal into fruition. Now, when I talk about the cost, I don't necessarily mean financially, although that is something that you need to take into consideration. I'm saying, how much will it cost me in terms of my time, in terms of my effort? Like, what is the real commitment to making this happen? And based on what that actual commitment is that's necessary in order to make this happen, it is this an attainable goal? Is this something that I can, realistically manifest in the amount of time that I am outlining for it? You get what I'm saying? Okay. How many action steps are involved? How many sub steps does each action step have? You have to really kind of break down the logistics of the goal manifestation and determine whether or not you need to make some adjustments to make it more attainable. Maybe that looks like, maybe spreading out your timeline a little bit more. Maybe it can get done, just not in the amount of time that you originally thought that you wanted to have it done in. So you make the adjustments to get the things that you need to get done. Maybe you figure out that it can happen, but I need to add some additional steps in order to make it attainable. That's fine too, but you have to assess the goal to make sure that it is attainable, that it's something that realistically speaking you can actually be able to manifest in your life, and put things in place to make it more attainable. All right. Okay. All right. The fourth letter is R, and it stands for relevant. Now, like I said before, relevant is a word that I like to use. Some people might put realistic in this particular category, but I think realistic goes with attainable. Okay, I use relevant for the R in SMART because I think it's important for us to understand, or to make sure that the goals that we're setting for ourselves are actually making an impact on our lives, or actually getting us where we need to be. So, does this goal move me closer to where I need to be? You would be surprised at how many people are creating goals for their life that really are not relevant to who they are or who they say they want to be. You're just creating these goals because it sounds nice or it looks nice on paper, or because somebody told you that this is what you need to do, but that doesn't mean that it's relevant to getting you, closer to your dream or closer to your vision. All right. Goals are intended to produce a very specific outcome. All right. So when you create a goal, there is a specific outcome of that goal that you are hoping to attain. If your goals are not supportive of your desired outcome, then you have no business pursuing them, because they do not serve you. If your goal is not relevant to who you are, what your mission is, and what your stated vision is, then why are you wasting your time on it? It then becomes a distraction. So make sure that your goals are relevant. Make sure that your goals serve a specific purpose in your life, and that they contribute to the desired outcome, and that it's not just something to do for show, or something to do because that's what everybody else wants you to do. Those goals need to be relevant. They need to make sense in your life. All right? Okay. The last piece of this puzzle is that your goals need to be time stamped. Okay? Time stamped. What this means is, when will you have the goal accomplished? And I talked about this earlier when we were going over the making your goals specific. Putting a timestamp on things really kind of creates a sense of urgency, but it also creates a sense of accountability as well. It helps you to get a different perspective on the goal, because it bridges the gap between the perceived attainability of the goal and the reality of the goal, right? So we talked about making sure that the goal is attainable. We talked about making sure that the goal is relevant, things like that, right? When you put a timestamp on something, And then you go back and you say, okay, so I want to have, like, let's I've been using the example of going back to school, right? Going back to get your master's, right? So if you say, I want to have my master's by this time next year, I want to have my master's, right? So within 1 year, by in 365 days, that is your time stamp. I will have uh finished my master's program. All right. So you put that timestamp on there and it creates this sense of urgency. I need to do it. I need to do it. I need to do it. But that's not a realistic goal. It's not attainable, right? Especially if you've never started your master's program. Or what would need to go into it in order for you to do it in 1 year? I mean, I don't know that you could do it in 1 year. I think a year and a half is the least amount of time that you should even attempt to complete a master's program if you're starting from scratch. If you already have hours put in, that's a different story. But if you're starting from scratch, it's not realistic to think that you're going to finish a master's program in 1 year. But I'm just using it for this example, right? That timestamp helps you to kind of pay attention to, like, okay, once you start doing the research, maybe that's not a realistic goal. That's not a realistic goal. And maybe I can give myself more time. So instead of saying this time next year, maybe I can say 2 years from now. Within the next 2 years, my goal is to finish my master's program. That helps to adjust your perspective on your progress, on how you are making progress toward the attaining that goal. You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes we have an idea in our mind of what we can do, and we can overestimate what we can actually manifest. I am guilty of this. I do this all the time. And so coming back and making a SMART goal and really making sure that my goals check off each one of these criteria, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timestamp, making sure that I have those components in each one of my goals, it helps me to stay grounded. But then it also helps me because I'm lightweight. Listen, lightweight. I'm slightly like a perfectionist. I try not to let it take over my life, but I do, like, I want to be good at things, and I want things to be done well, and I want things to be done right. And so I can sometimes overestimate what I can handle given everything else that I have going on. So I may have a timestamp on something that's not a realistic timestamp. So when I start going through things and taking another look at it, I realize, like, when I do the research and things, I realize that I need to adjust that timestamp. But then when I put that timestamp, what I like to do honestly is I'll have maybe two or three different timestamps in my mind. So I'll have, the ideal, or like the, I guess, like the mid-level timestamp, which is like, realistically speaking, I'm gonna give myself at least 2 years to finish this master's program, right? So realistically speaking, I need to give myself 2 years. Let's say if I'm a single mother, then maybe I need to give myself 2.5 years, realistically speaking, right? So that is the official timestamp, is this 2.5 years. But then in my, my secondary kind of goal, I'm going to say, but if I could do it in a year and a half, that would be awesome. You get what I'm saying? So if I get it finished in a year and a half, well, then I'm an overachiever and I feel extra, extra good about myself. But if I don't get it done in a year and a half and it takes me the full 2.5 years to get it done, I still don't feel bad about myself because I still met my goal. Does that make any sense? Okay, I still met my goal. I still attained the goal that I set for myself because I had that timestamp on it. All right. So, when will you have this goal accomplished? You have to set very clear boundaries around your goals. Otherwise, they're just perpetual, and it's extremely difficult to stay motivated to attain a perpetual goal. All right. Because you never get the satisfaction of attainment. And that's extremely important in terms of motivation. Okay? So I hope this helped you all. That is how you make a SMART goal. You want to make sure that when you create your goal that you can check off each one of these criteria. Is that goal specific? Is it measurable? Is it attainable? Is it relevant? And does it have a time stamp? Okay. If you can check off each and every one of those criteria for each goal that you create in your life, you are giving yourself the best opportunity to be successful in terms of achieving that goal and manifesting your vision. All right. So happy goal planning to you all. Strategic planning is it's not as hard as we think it is when you have a blueprint. And so, like I said, in the Empower Your Vision Masterclass tonight, I'm going to be outlining that blueprint, and it's going to come with lots of worksheets and things like that, which I feel like my group members, the people who are currently participating in the Empower Your Vision Masterclass. They have given me some very good feedback about the worksheets. I think they like them, and that the worksheets are very detailed and things like that. Because like I said, this is for real, for real. Any program or anything that I offer you, don't sign up for my stuff if you're not for real ready to do some, to really do some work and really. Move your life forward, then don't waste your time on paying for my programs and things like that, because anything that you get from me is the real deal, and it's time to make it happen. And so I'm excited to see where everybody goes and grows, and I'm just happy to be able to participate in y'all's journey. I really am. I really am. So next week is module 5. It's going to be the last module, and we're going to talk about the blocks and obstacles. And so I'm really looking forward to that, because we have to plan for those things as well. And but that's all I got for y'all this week in terms of your topic. Coming up next is high five. Okay, it is time for high five. And today I actually have a double high five. So a high 10 going to the Black Panther movie world premiere, y'all. OMG. Have y'all seen the pictures for the world premiere red carpet? Which it wasn't a red carpet, it was a purple carpet, and it was everything. Okay, like it completely gave me life. The theme I think was like African royalty or something like that, which makes sense because the Black Panther movie is based in it's like a futuristic royal family in Africa. It is amazing. And the world premiere did not disappoint whatsoever. This movie is one of the most anticipated movies, like for like 2018, like I feel like in a very long time, to be honest, and rightfully so. Listen, at the premiere they put like African artistry and fashion and designs were just like on display at every turn. Everybody in Black America or Black Hollywood came out to the premiere, and like they were just donned in their African best, and it was freaking amazing. Chadwick Boseman, who is the lead character. He is Black Panther. He looks stunning in I don't know what they call the little jacket or whatever, but it was like a brocade fabric, and it was gold, and it was swirly, and it was gorgeous, and I loved it. Angela Bassett wore a yellow fringe, and I'm not really a big fan of fringe, but Angela made it work, like for real, for real. And her hair gave me life. Okay. There were lots of like I said, Black Hollywood came out. So like Chloe and Haley, the singers, like Beyonce girls, and they also are on Grownish. Yari Sahidi was there also from Grownish. Sterling K. Brown and his beautiful wife and son were there. Issa Rae, never disappoints, and she absolutely turned it out. But like, high five to Donald Glover for that orange ensemble. He definitely held it down. Like, it was hot, hot, hot. So I'm actually gonna post some of the photos on my IG and on the Facebook page for the podcast, so y'all can check it out. But double high five, high 10 to everybody involved in the making of Black Panther. They are doing everything right, I believe, in terms of the marketing of this movie and like promotion and everything like that. I am so happy and excited to see this movie. I'm on a military base, and so we don't always get the movies like when they come out, but like for the big movies and stuff, they always make sure that we get it. So I am really hoping that we get this movie on February 16th when it comes out. I would even love to see like a midnight showing of this. That would be like freaking awesome and amazing. I will be there like early for that. I'm not even playing. But high five to Black Panther and everybody involved in this, making this movie happen. I cannot wait to see it. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets and things, okay? All right, and then I have another high five actually for the Grammy Awards. There was lots and lots of like just extra blackness and brownness all up and through the Grammys this year, from Kendrick Lamar to SZA. Again, Donald Glover was like freaking amazing. He is becoming one of my favorite people, slowly but surely. But just the Grammy Awards was really good this year. I didn't get to see all of it, but I did see a good bit of it. And let me tell you, my favorite part that would really earned, I feel like really earned the Grammys the high five this year for me, was Blue Ivy. Blue Ivy is definitely that girl. I love her, and I love to see. I like when you get to see the realness of Beyonce and Jay Z. And listen, that those pictures that's floating around with Beyonce like holding a juice box and a little fruit snack, and then they have one picture with Blue Ivy like head up, like killing some fruit snacks or something like that. Like, I love it. I really love it, because I think a lot of times with these celebrities, we can feel very disconnected from them, And so when photos like that come out, I mean, they're at the freaking Grammys having a snack break because Blue Ivy is like 5 years old and she needs snack breaks. How old is she? Like 5 or 6 or something like that. And she still needs snack breaks. Like, she's a child and she still needs snack breaks. And Beyonce is a mother. You know what I'm saying? And Blue Ivy was throwing shade all throughout the show. Like, I loved it. I enjoyed it. So high five to the Grammys as well. Okay. I do have a few shout outs, or a couple shout outs today. I want to give a shout out to Cardi B. I was not always a Cardi B fan. I wasn't necessarily a Cardi B hater. My husband might say otherwise, but I wasn't necessarily a Cardi B hater. I just honestly did not feel like musically she was on the same level as some of my other favorite hip hop artists. And to be honest, I still don't feel that way. I like her songs though. I do. I like her songs, and I respect her hustle. And I'm very, very proud of Cardi B for all of the accomplishments that she has made. But it's obvious to me that she is having a hard time adjusting to life in the spotlight. She works very hard, and I do think that she deserves all of the spotlight and limelight that she's receiving right now. However, I also am concerned for her. I feel like she needs to have some people in her corner who can help her through this transition. I've never experienced it, but I could only imagine what it's like to go from, just a regular girl to just this huge star. And we've seen other celebrities really struggle with making that transition in the past. And so I want her to do well. I am rooting for her, and I want her to do well. And I really, I just want to give a shout out to Cardi B and say, Cardi, keep your head up, girl. Hang in there. You're gonna figure this out. You know what I'm saying? Don't give up on it. Figure it out. And just keep on rolling, girl. Keep being you, keep doing you, but also I think she needs to fortify herself. She needs to strengthen herself emotionally so that she's not as affected and taken, just kind of sucked in by uh, just, I don't know, everything that being a celebrity can suck you in by. All right. So shout out to Cardi B. And her performance at the Grammys was everything. I enjoyed it. She looks like she has fun on stage. And I always appreciate that. Like you can't help but get excited when the artist themselves is excited. So shout out to Cardi B. And then I also want to give a shout out to Janine Daniels. I don't know, for those of you who don't know, rather, Janine Daniels is an actor, director, writer, and producer. I think she lives in LA. I first found out about Janine when I was watching Black and Sexy TV. Started on YouTube, and now they have like a VHX kind of site where they do their own content and stuff like that. If you haven't checked out Black and Sexy TV, please do. But my favorite show on Black and Sexy, Janine Daniels created and wrote and co-starred in the show, and it was called That Guy. Do yourself a favor, go on YouTube and do a YouTube search for That Guy and watch the show from the very, very beginning. It is freaking amazing, and I love That Guy, and I fell in love with Janine Daniels as a result of That Guy. I don't know whatever happened. She's no longer a part of Black and Sexy TV anymore, and I'm actually still kind of upset about that because we never got our That Guy finale, and our That Guy movie. So I'm a little pissed about that. I'm not gonna lie. But business is business, and sometimes you have to move on. I want to give her a shout out though because I follow her on the social medias, and she announced that she will be launching her own YouTube channel. Is going to be starting really soon. So shout out to Janine Daniels because you can't keep a good bitch down, okay? And so I am super duper excited. If anything that you put out is anywhere close to being as good as That Guy was, then I'm definitely going to tune in. And who knows, girl, if you listening, or if you know somebody, if somebody knows Janine and has a way to get in contact with Janine, I would love to have you on the show, to kind of talk about where you are, where you're going, and what your journey looks like, because I definitely feel like she has a story, and she shares her story from time to time on the social medias and things like that. But I would love to have you on the show and talk about those things. So shout out to Janine Daniels, shout out to Cardi B, high five to Black Panther, high five to the Grammys and all the blackness at the Grammys. And what else do I have going on? So for those of you who have asked, because I've gotten lots of questions and requests about the Empower Your Vision Masterclass, it is going to relaunch in March. And so actually in a couple weeks or so, you will have an opportunity to buy, to pre-sale, pre-purchase, pre-order, I think it's called, your spot for the next masterclass. And so I am really, really excited about this. I have a new book coming out in April. I'm planning a retreat. It's my first ever retreat. Is gonna happen in August or September of this year. So I'm starting the planning for that. I definitely, you can get with me on Trust Village, my closed Facebook group. Trust Village. I do free live streams in the group every Tuesday at 7:30 Central. Excuse me, 7:30 Eastern time, 7:30 Eastern. Inside the group, it's free to join Trust Village, and it really is a safe space for healing and manifestation. It's Black women supporting each other, loving on each other, and doing, just kind of showing up for each other the way that we need somebody to show up for us. You know what I'm saying? I love what the group is turning into, and I'm so excited about the direction that it's going in. Also, catch me on Thursdays on my Facebook page for my personal branding. Latrice Sampson Richards, Life Enhancement Coach. I'm going to put all of these links are going to be in the description box. But every Thursday, I do a vlog, a live vlog on Facebook called From Scratch Live, and that's again at 7:30 Eastern on Facebook Live, and now on IG Live. I'm going to do it on there as well. And From Scratch Live is just me, it's just me talking about my life and my journey. I think it's extremely important for us to share our stories with each other so that we can draw inspiration from one another and we can encourage each other. Okay. So join me on Thursdays for my story on From Scratch Live. And then, of course, make sure that you rate and subscribe, especially on Apple Podcasts, but also anywhere that you listen to podcasts, right? So Google Play Music, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Castbox. I listen on Castbox. I love Castbox. And so, rate, subscribe, leave a comment. If you like what you're hearing, let the people know that you like what you're hearing. Share me with your friends and family or anybody that you think might be able to benefit. Okay? All right. So that's all I got for y'all today. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. And until next time, be well. Bye, y'all.